All right. So, several people wrote to me about this, particularly Low Roller Scratcher. And I have to admit, I was pretty upset about this too. And it highlights one more problem about UberEATS that I think a lot of us overlook. And that is this story about an UberEATS customer ordering a huge meal from this restaurant. The restaurant makes the food. It's almost $300 worth of food. And then, just because a driver had not been assigned to the restaurant yet, or hadn't gotten there, or something to that effect, the customer was able to cancel the order, basically wasting everyone's time and money. So let's look at this from Yahoo Life. And yeah, I still go to Yahoo. Is it crazy? An UberEATS customer is facing backlash online over their handling of a nearly $300 food order. The situation, which spawned an in-depth discussion about who suffers when deliveries are canceled, was shared to Reddit's "Well, That Sucks" forum by a user named Ryu Araragi. In his post, the user explained that they had prepared $270 worth of ramen, fried chicken, pork dumplings, beef curry, and several other dishes for a customer who ordered via UberEATS. You know, on a side note, I was, I don't know why the screen went blank. I'm sorry about that, folks. I was going to do tacos today. It is Taco Tuesday, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get some ramen now. Maybe I actually know how to make ramen. Maybe I'll make some ramen with meat in it. Shoot, that sounds really good. Okay, I don't know. Let's continue. Then the customer canceled their order at an extremely unideal time. Customer ordered all this food on UberEATS and canceled the order the moment I finished making everything, the user wrote. The post sparked a wave of responses, with users criticizing the customer's wasted order and questioning how such a late cancellation was even possible. And, that's really rotten. People suck. F should be banned. I think we all know what that means, from the app. Now, thankfully, this person wasn't completely out, because the restaurant did get compensated from the order, but not from the customer. It was from UberEATS. And also, they ended up giving away the food to, like, a local, employees at a local restaurant, maybe a food barter, something like that. And so it didn't go to waste. But that does raise, like, the question, like, it shows the murder that Uber can get away with. It shows the murder that customers get away with. They call and they order this food, and then they cancel. And then, in some cases, the driver doesn't even find out until after they've been assigned. Let me share you like a story of a friend of mine. And for the record, I didn't do this. I'm not saying you should do this either. I'm just saying what my friend did. My friend, who did this a heck of a lot more than I did, and still does it to this day for that matter, his name's Jeff. He got an order on Postmates for like a Vietnamese restaurant. Now, after a certain amount of time, Postmates is a lot more strict about canceling orders on their app. And the customer went to the app to try to cancel the order. And they couldn't do it. The app basically said, hey, you know what? They started making the food. It's too late to cancel the order. So the customer called the restaurant and said to the restaurant, I'm canceling my order. Please don't give any food to the driver. Now, that restaurant, agreed to it, basically not to tick the customer off, and also because, someone had ordered almost the exact same thing a few minutes later, so, that food could be repurposed, and there was nothing coming out of their pocket. But my friend, after getting there, and after, passing up I don't know how many orders, went to this restaurant. The restaurant owner told him that, hey, they called and they canceled the order. My friend was pissed. My friend was really pissed. But here's the thing. He did not get a cancellation request from Postmates. So, and again, I'm not saying you should do this. I'm making that very clear. This is probably a very douche thing to do, right? What my friend did. So, you got to decide whether or not this is moral on your own. I think it's funny. I don't think it's right, but I think it's funny. Well, my friend exited the restaurant and swiped that the order had been picked up. And he drove to the person's house. He waited there for 15 minutes. And then he marked the order as a no-show and collected his fee. Now, that, again, that's probably, in fact, I'm kind of curious in the comments section when I get back to it, whether or not you think that's a scummy thing to do. I don't know how I feel about it, because, it is kind of scummy to do, but then you read stories like this, and, is it any less scummy that people can cancel their orders and just, not pay for them and waste all this food, potentially? I actually think that, yeah, the cancellation thing should be a super restrictive thing. It should be super restrictive. And it's like, hey, you know what? You've probably got like a good, depending on what restaurant it is, you probably got 5 to 10 minutes that you can decide you don't want to do this. And basically, this is going to screw restaurants unless they're partnered with Uber or Postmates. Because I think once the food starts getting made, you know what? It's done. You can't cancel the order. You just can't. But that's not what's happening. Apparently, Uber is letting the food get all the way to the end, have it all get made, and just because they didn't assign a driver to it, that can then be canceled. And look, it's a wasted order. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that was an awful situation. I do know that customers can be quite, frankly, dishonest, and they can be pretty crummy too in response. Like the situation with my friend, like they waited some 20 minutes, decided, we don't want it anymore, and they wasted my friend's time. Well, technically not. My friend got paid, and he never told me if Postmates ever corrected him on that one. By the way, also disclaimer: if you get in trouble for this, you can get deactivated. So, yeah, I'm now leaning more and more like, don't do this, even though it's really funny to think about. So, I don't know. It's just one more example, I think, of, customers basically getting away with murder, and whether it be the restaurant or the driver, they get the short end of the stick. But I would like to know what you think about this, whether you agree that the customer should be banned from UberEATS. I don't know what you think about my friend. Maybe you think my friend's a jerk. Maybe you think he's brilliant. I don't know. That would also be interesting. I think Jeff would really like to know what you think of his action. So, comment below, like, share, and all that jazz.